Today I'd like to talk to you about colouring the edges. I use Tombow pens when I cut out a piece and colour the edge on my paper towel. Years ago, pens were not the thing and we used to use a dark pencil, either black or grey, just to run around everything and hide the white edge. Today, we actually have colours and a range of colours enough to match everything that we cut out. This is a leaf. This pen is number N89, which is a light grey, and sometimes a green isn't always sufficient, even though that it might be a leaf. This one I'm going to use very light grey on, like so. I like to use it from the back so that I'm not accidentally slipping and marking the front. So if I use it from the back like that, just a swipe up the side. Try not to go back and forth over and over it where it might run into the paper. So that's a perfect match for that leaf there. However, our next leaf is quite a green leaf, but if you look closely, it actually has a browner edge. So on that, I'm going to try, when you're not sure and you're learning about the pens, try a couple next to the leaf like that. And then I'll also try a green, like that. So really this is the better pen. So we give it a swipe around the edge with the browner pen, and you'll find that that finishes nicely and picks up the colour. So this colour I'm using is 912. So just one swipe and your edges are covered well. Then we have a little girl. Don't be frightened to blend your pens or to try a few different colours and then mix them. This one is grey, and I'm looking at that perhaps for the dress colour. It's very pale. The yellow I would use around the hat. So always test it first and have a look at the similarity with the colour. And then this one I would use for the arms. It's just a neutral brown. This is a 990. So we'll do the arms first. So again, just a swipe there. Tilt it to the side, and that way you'll see exactly where you've missed, if you do miss any sections. So coming around like so, just a swipe up to there. When you go to do the fingers, you can turn it over and just don't go into them, just come out from them a little bit. That will cover the fingers without running in, and then your arms are finished. So with the yellow, we're going to just do the hair, like that. This one's 090, it's a pale yellow. And that's not a good idea to do what I did there. Do that from the back, especially if you're not experienced with the colours, just so you don't slip and mark that. And then we're going to do the grey around the edge of the dress. For pieces that are completely white, there's no need for you to colour the edges, and your shaping can just hide that a little bit. This has a little bit of colour in it, so I'm just touching up with the grey there. And of course, for the pink, if you do want to touch up with the pink, you can certainly do that as well. So that's our little girl. Now, when you get to a rangy piece, like a piece of grass, like this, again we'll test our colours. I've chosen two colours here. Both of these will go quite well with this grass. So we have that, which is a sandy colour, and this one which has a little bit more grey in it. So either one will match quite well with that, but we're going to use the sandy colour. So when you colour something like this, I suggest you try it on the paper. Just put it face down and run around the edges like so. Hold it in position. This will cover 90% of your edges. It's not going to get every single edge, but you're not going to put a lot of stress on the paper by holding it in your hand like that and trying to colour every edge. It's much easier and secure flat on the paper, so you can colour that off. So just come up, hold those. Doesn't matter if you get it on the back of the paper like that. And then when you finish that, you can turn it on its side and just test it from the front to check how much you've missed. So I have missed a couple of tiny bits there, but as you can see, it's pretty well covered. Turn it over the other way as well, like that. And yes, I have missed a fair bit on that one, probably because it's long and rangy. So once you've coloured something like this, make sure you leave it a couple of hours to dry. The pens are water-based and the edges now will be wet. This is why we colour before we shape.